Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling. The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
For your independent wrestling entertainment. This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 800. Wait. We got to tick that up. People love when I do this live on the air. 890 Tuesdays we've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on all the social medias. And with me, first of all, we have on the call... He is, I don't know, do I plug your iPhoneography podcast on this one? I don't remember. Dave Potter is here. Hey! Pop on most of the social medias.
Mm-hmm.
Good to have you back, sir.
Well, glad to be here.
And also doing a two-for podcast tonight, it is The Riz.
And I'll say the same thing I said last time. Baldur's Gate 3 is the better game.
No, that's the other podcast. That's we really
I don't
did
care.
kind of cross over.
I'm throwing it out there.
We did cross over. And also our special guest, first time on the show. You've seen him all over places, including Enjoy Wrestling, 880 Wrestling, AIW, and Top Rope Tabletop. Mikey Montgomery.
Woo!
Is
Double
here
hands.
in the chat. Oh, the live on air already died.
Did it really?
Yeah, it did. Oh, well.
Oh,
New
no.
batteries later, I guess. Thank you for joining us, sir. You're festive with the Christmas sweater, standard ugly Christmas sweater.
You call this ugly?
I mean,
call this
it was pretty
fashionable.
nice, but I'm like, I
very
guess it's an
festive.
ugly.
You know what's funny? I wear this sweater all year round.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's
No,
not-
it stays in rotation. I don't wear it in public unless it's, like past November.
Yeah, you're really dressed up for this show.
Dressed up.
Yeah. You got a sweater and the McDonald's
And my
Crocs.
McDonald's Crocs.
There you go. Whoa.
Look at that. See?
Nice.
I know. Ziggy got them for me she called it an early Christmas present, but I think she just got them off on a whim.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna catch up with you, introduce you to anybody that doesn't know who Mikey is. Of course, you're gearing up for Tony Kincaid's Christmas Chaos here on Friday with Top Rope Tabletop. We'll talk about that a little bit here in the show as well. Well, let's get into the wrestling talk, and we usually try to kick off talking about whatever's going on in WWE. And I don't know, I don't know how many of you guys watched Deadline over the weekend, because I know it's been a busy wrestle weekend for a lot of people, which, is also like second year of the most baffling wrestling concept I think WWE has ever done with the Iron Survivor Challenge. But I figured, because we really didn't really talk much about it, because we mostly talked about physical media last week, I guess, since that's apparently dying at WWE. But I guess it is kind of good to take the temperature of the room. How are we 2 weeks in of the latest CM Punk experiment?
I really don't know how to feel about seeing CM Punk on my TV again.
On a different night of the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
On 3 nights of the week last week.
I mean,
apparently.
I already wasn't watching the show that he was on originally, so it's now just, I don't know. I mean, I don't watch AEW or WWE enough to be like, he is a good fit or he isn't a good fit.
Mhm.
I just know that there is a lot of people in the locker room who are upset or otherwise about his return.
Mhm.
I mean, we'll see where it goes.
Mhm.
Let's see if he actually does what he said he was going to do, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and say he was gonna, work with all the kids and put them over.
Yeah, straight for the kids, like Seth Rollins. I know, right?
Yeah.
And calling out Roman Reigns and just being buddy with Shawn Michaels so far.
Yeah.
So far so good, right?
Mhm.
I am holistically indifferent on this thing, because I am kind of like, get me to a thing. We're doing the tour. We're doing the Goodwill tour. He's going to have his first match they announced against Dominic Mysterio in I think in the Los Angeles market for the holiday tour. So like this already tells me he's just fitting into where they fit people in, and I don't think he's doing the house, like, you know, I think we were talking in the chat on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group chat. I don't think he's doing the full, like, you know, house loop. I think he's going to be like how we, you know, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar would do, like the Madison Square Garden shows or the big market house shows or something like that, right? To pop those tickets. And
Is he that guy though? I don't really.
I think he is now. Yeah,
He is now.
Because
he is now.
you have to think about it. What CM Punk is week after week, promo, and then you get the pay-per-view match.
Right.
So he still has to be on TV every
Sure.
week for him to do that.
I don't see him, but I don't see him doing match.
Yeah, but
No.
he's never
No.
done that. Think about that.
Yeah. Okay. All
Even
right.
when he was doing his, like, you know, the Summer of Punk,
Mhm.
it was all promo, and then you get the pay-per-view match.
Mhm.
So
I can see him doing some house shows just to get back into ring shape, or WWE ring shape, so he's used to that.
Mhm.
But also, I think they realized they got an old man.
I
in
think he
Punk.
knows that too. I think
Yeah.
I don't foresee him doing.
He looked so rough after some of those matches.
I
Yeah.
do not foresee him doing house shows. I don't think that's what he wants to do or
No.
what they want him to
Agreed.
do.
Mhm. He's
That's not to say that he couldn't use the house shows to get into the ring shape.
sure.
Well, like I said, I think that's why he's doing, like, it's Inglewood, Madison Square Garden.
Mhm.
You know, he may be down the PC for all we know. You know,
No,
or
I
working
doubt
with
it.
someone.
I
I
doubt
doubt it. I
doubt
doubt it. But
He-
just trying to get his, like I said, when Medley never wrestled, but hearing from what wrestlers say, getting back into ring shape, you know, just so he can get used to riding the ropes, so he doesn't look like a complete idiot when he does the Royal Rumble.
I don't think he needs to get into general ring shape because he has wrestled as recently as August.
I was gonna
Um,
say he's been off TV
yeah.
for what, a month?
Yeah, like 2 or
Yeah.
3, like 3 months basically,
Yeah.
right? 2 months. Wow, that was it. And classically, when he came in at first at AEW, he had not worked out.
No.
He's like, I haven't hit a ring yet. Like he's like, I hit a ring like last week. You
And
know,
he didn't the entire time he was there.
Yeah, you can argue that too. You know, for all it is. Yeah, and there was a lot about his ring shape and how he was looking in the ring and everything like that, right? So not that he was ever like a terribly, you know, amazingly athletic
Oh no.
specimen, or it's not like his
No,
Bobby
but
Lashley going
his
in there.
promo made him better than he was.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
Like if you
absolutely.
watched him purely for his matches, and especially when they first got a hold of him in the WWE, and like when they had WWE ECW,
Mhm,
and they were giving him like that martial arts gimmick,
mhm.
you watch it and you're like, he doesn't know martial arts. He doesn't at all.
Right,
He's
right,
wrestled on the indies for
right.
God knows how long.
Mhm.
I don't know who he was trained by, but I mean, a lot of the matches he was having was like super indie content, you know, like it was move.
I think it was Ace Steel, right?
Yeah, actually, no, that's true.
I'm double checking that right now. I'm the research department without Mike here.
Well, also
Ace
Sorg.
Ace Steel, Danny Dominion, and Kevin Quinn, not to be confused with Quinn Magnum. So yeah, go ahead, partner.
Okay. From Tina in chat, Punk was at NXT tonight.
Okay, was he on
Then-
screen or just hanging?
I watched
I
it
missed the-
off and on, and
Yeah,
I missed it.
I missed the first 40 of NXT
Mhm.
this evening.
Did he
so-
have a match on NXT?
No,
No. No.
Okay, so
Man,
that I mean that still kind of proves my point.
give me CM
Yeah.
Punk versus Briggs.
Well, the
Oh,
thing is,
God, no.
you don't want CM Punk on a televised show too soon.
Why wouldn't you?
He's money.
Yeah, I know. Don't you want to draw money to
Possibil-
that product?
Yeah.
You know, you have him debut at War Games, right?
Mhm.
And then he cuts a promo on Raw. And then, you know, like if he's gonna fight or Dominic Mysterio, or I don't know, is
Mhm.
that the storyline that they're going with?
No, that's not the story. That's not even the storyline. That's just a house show.
That's just-
That's a house show.
That's a house show. Like,
Yeah.
just why?
That's Brock
If
Lesnar
he's gonna
versus
come out
Kofi
on
Kingston.
NXT, just be like, announce it. Be like, CM Punk is gonna have a match on NXT on Tuesday night, and then you get however many CM Punk fans to finally tune into an episode of NXT because he's announced having a match.
It might have even just the thing to spruce the crowd up at there, or he was there visiting, or he was just working out. Who knows? So I think it was incidental that he happened to be there tonight, or he just is new best buddies with Shawn Michaels after last week.
Gotta be.
So
the power of the selfie.
The power of the selfie.
Just two old men just hanging at.
Listen,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you've seen it.
Look at
us. You've seen
Look
it
at
around
us.
the wrestling biz. Come on,
Yeah.
You'll be. Listen, I know you're a young guy in the business, Mikey, but you'll be that old guy hanging out. At
I'm
some
already
point.
that old.
You're already that old guy.
Most of my mannerisms are old.
I've noticed actually.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of other people have noticed too.
Yes. But no, I don't think he touches his knee pads, his gear until Rumble. I think it's just promos like every other week until the Rumble.
That gear is gonna stink until that Saturday or that Friday.
He's not even gonna get new gear either.
No.
Is he?
No, he's gonna have that same like black, red, and silver.
No, he's gonna bring
Chicago.
He's
gear.
gonna bring the long strape stuff, the long pants that pissed everybody off a year ago.
I remember watching that pay-per-view and being like,
Punk, where are your legs at?
He does his return, and this is the gear he chooses.
Yeah. He's 45, and he's been out of he was 7 years out of in-ring action. He's had in-ring action arguably for the last 2 years. So he's
multiple injuries
in multiple injuries in that time, which has got to be. That's the other reason why I think you're not going to see him on TV every week because he has a history.
But he's covering 45% of his legs anyway with the.
Okay, I'm
with
past
the
the legs. I'm past the legs actually. But still, he had like reconstructive foot surgery or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
So like
when he broke his foot, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be an attraction. They're not going to do anything that isn't going to be insanely safe for him. He's going to be coddled. That when it comes to, and I'm not not saying personality is going to be coddled. I don't know, maybe he is. I don't know, but he's going to be like put in a position to win or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
he's going to be crown jewel guy. He's going to be WrestleMania guy, Rumble guy. Like he's going to be marquee match and. Man, I don't think he's not like Cody Rhodes, who's just more than happy to be on a house show loop right now, right? Or at least that's what he tells us with that big ass smile. So yeah, I am like, well, when we get to something of worth, I think it'll be great. In the meantime, it's just Punk being Punk and cool. I'm kind of over it at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I had in the beginning,
I
mean, in AEW, because I wasn't too big on him coming to AEW, but I was like same thing I am now. I am indifferent of CM Punk, but I am happy that a lot of people are having their moment with him. Like a lot of people are having that. Oh my God, this is never going to happen, but it's happening now. That moment of CM Punk is great for them.
The average WWE fan that isn't even aware AEW exists are like get their turn. You know what I mean? And this is it. I think there is a general population that WWE is wrestling, and that's fine. Like that's their brand. That's 60, 70, 100 years of a brand build, right? And just like what do you mean there's video games outside of Xbox? Like people have the blinders on if they're just in that world, right? And that's not a detraction. That's that's fine. That's just how like the general fan that doesn't live and breathe this like all of us do, reacts to these things. And that's big news when CM Punk is there, because that is literally a headline if he's back at WWE. That is technically a bigger deal than him coming back the first time. Absolutely.
He also needs to know that Triple H is not Tony Khan. And if anything happens,
I think he's very aware of that. I think he is. I think there's been some conversations. I think he's wildly aware of that situation.
No,
like I know
that meeting between them definitely was just two two scrunched up faces, just two angry men just looking at each other, being like, "I hate you, but I want to make money."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's absolutely it.
It's Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque all over again.
Also consider, because we're seeing these stories about how they're not doing any live shows here over the holidays. So like they are like Paul's a little softer than he used to be. Paul's like, I want everybody to hang with their family because I had a big health scare and almost freaking died. So
He's an old softy now.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, maybe if Vince had, and I'm not wishing upon, but I'm just saying hypothetically, if Vince had a heart attack when he was like 55 years old, you might have a very different WWE.
He probably did.
He probably
Just didn't
did
know
it.
about it.
He probably did and walked it off.
No, he probably did and told literally nobody because he saw it as weakness.
Yeah. Sneezing is weakness.
Yeah,
With
absolutely.
him. Yeah, we always hear it.
He probably didn't even see a doctor about it and was like, "Oh, that was weird, pal." And just
Yeah, probably.
Can we also scratch it up to some people are just better under circumstances than others?
Mhm.
Like Punk, it may be a better fit under WWE, where Moxley is a better fit under like an AEW type management. Same thing with Bryan Danielson.
Absolutely. This goes to that old like if you didn't make in WWE, you're not a bad wrestler. You just didn't fit the company culture, right? Hey, you're a really good video editor, but this company you're just not going to fly with. Like I've always been a really big one on that. And that's it. Maybe it is, whatever that is. Maybe like they give him what he needs to. We talked about this going into it. WWE knows how to deal with difficult personalities, especially if they're moneymakers. You fucking deal with it. You know what I mean?
Whereas at AEW, there's no one to be like, no one to keep them in.
No.
They just don't know how to do it. They just don't have the experience.
Well, there is no person to be like, I am going to keep you guys in line.
Yeah, but it'd be like you have your difficult like when you talk about look at hypothetically, and I don't know all of this 100%, but I'm just hypothetically like Tony Khan is involved with the Jaguars, correct? It's some managerial aspect. His dad is, but he has a hand in it, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He is not directly dealing with the talent. There are levels of management and stuff that deals with them. He is personally booking and organized the wrestling. That's a whole different animal. He's back there in the dirt with all the wrestlers. And I don't think he was brand new to that. Well, okay, it's 5 years in, sure, but relatively brand new to that world. Didn't come up in the business. Just said, I am starting a wrestling company with a handful of people that do know the business, right? And are hopefully guiding him. Hypothetically, one of those guys left. So what does that mean? I don't know.
What it seems like to me from an outside perspective, and I don't really have I don't talk to anybody who is currently signed to AEW, or I don't have like a personal connection. Like I know a couple of people that are signed there, but I don't talk to any of them on a regular basis. But what it seems like to me is that Tony is less of a coach and more of a player, where he's along for the ride with the boys instead of being like, this is my vision and everybody needs to play a part in it.
I think it's more like a kid with its toy box.
Exactly.
Is always been my view with it.
Absolutely. But imagine if the toys were his sized and had personalities.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
Oh yeah,
what it
exactly.
Is.
Absolutely. So
go ahead. Well, I'm going to steal a line here. I'm going to steal a line here from somebody. From the Tights and Fights podcast, where one of the hosts says it's Tony and his little dollies.
Okay.
And that's how he acts like it.
Yeah. And you definitely get that.
And it's also where he gets bored after a while with some of them.
Go ahead, Mikey.
I get that. Mikey. No, you're totally fine. I was the one talking over, but
you got a little bit of Zoom lag, and sometimes that happens. So
I get that to an extent, but it almost seems like if it were dolls, he could corral them, but it's not that. It doesn't really seem like that from an outside perspective. It seems like he wants to corral them, or like he's trying to be the overall morale guy, and is like everything is going super great, but there's no overall oversight as to what's going on at any given time.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Go ahead.
I dub it as like more of Tony Khan is running EFED right now. And everyone in that area is saying, why don't you like my RP? Why don't you like my RP? Why don't you like my RP? And it's just like one of those things where you can't manage it as much as you can, as much as you think you can. It looks good on paper. Like, I have John Moxley. I have Chris Jericho. I have the Young Bucks. I have Naito sometimes. I have everybody that I want to have on my show. But how am I going to put the square in the square hole? Why is it that the circle is going in the square hole? Why is everybody angry that it's going in the square hole?
Yeah, it's like it's almost just like I have the pegs, I have my hands, I have the holes. I don't know how to use my hands.
Yes.
And I'm all thumbs.
So you need
so
you need somebody to come behind you like Ghost Patrick Swayze and grab your hands and pick up the pieces and put them in the hole.
And
you have everything.
And make some good pottery.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where did this metaphor go? What's happening here?
I don't know. I was trying to think
weird.
Of it. Yeah.
But
anyways,
it's the shows.
Well, if you're all thumbs as well, don't worry about the pottery. You can help us out and use those thumbs and go to patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. So we got a lot of stuff going on over there, and of course, we do try to do our Patreon after talks. Last week, we found out who scared Reese Hayes away for 5 years before he actually got back into actually training for wrestling.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was the story. And I actually talked to the individual that scared him. So, and we're going to bring them together.
Oh, no.
We're gonna,
for a future
It was
pod?
actually funny. I talked to that person, and like I was actually going to book him today, but he's busy. So I don't know. Yeah, we should just bring them together. Like, it's like a reality show kind of thing, and we'll bring them together.
This is your life.
You got to tell me off, Mike.
You got to hear the story. You got to hear the story over on Patreon. Thank you everybody that does support our Patreon over there. And of course, coming up here, I haven't talked to. We haven't had this discussion yet. Excuse me.
Oh.
Getting a little choked
But
up.
Mayhem Mania is coming up. Yeah, Mayhem Mania really has me. Mayhem Mania. That thought experiment.
Mayhem Mania.
'Tis the season coming up here sometime in January. Usually around the Rumble we start. Riz, tell them about Mayhem Mania.
Mayhem Mania is a thought process that who was it? Matt Carlin's the magic mind of Matt Carlin's decided that
I like the hand movement when you said that.
Magic. That we can make our own WrestleMania card one match at a time. Mm-hmm. And I think one year we did like the Forbidden Door portion of it, and that was fun. And we just take another wrestler from different aspects, but they have to be wrestling and they have to be in the WWE sometimes, even though Matt Hardy was in WWE at one point.
Great
but
stuff. Great stuff.
Somehow I couldn't use Matt Hardy, even though Matt Hardy was in there.
Great matches we came up with last year, like Bull Nakano versus Rhea Ripley and Walter versus Asuka. Stuff like that. But a lot of fan participation if you're a part of the Patreon, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. As low as $1 will get you all the stuff, including our friends. And thank you to our friends that do contribute, including at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo!
Wow.
Ed Burke, Team Hammerfist, and the Tupac family. Our friends from 880. What? You didn't know about this?
I didn't know. No, that's the first time I'm hearing that.
Yeah, it was been like 3 weeks or something. At the Poppy Club level, Dave, Prof. Bob Bonner, spouse of Roost Jewelry Affair at roostjewelryaffair.com. Yes, you can use these for plugs. At Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, The Riz, and Lance Fisher. And the manager level, Bradley. You guys can support the show too at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Mikey, yes.
No, just adding on to the Patreon.
What?
If you are interested for Mayhem Mania, the higher you go, the more you get.
Yes.
That you can do. In fact, we have had threats in the chat room. Tina
Already?
says I must renew my manager status here soon.
Yep, I'm reading that. Yeah, this is where feelings get hurt in Mayhem Mania
yeah.
season. Mikey Montgomery is here,
Yes.
a Bitcoin boy, if you will.
Oh,
Are you
no.
still a Bitcoin boy?
No. Do you not know how that resulted?
I don't know how that resulted. Listen, I just finally signed up for Fight Plus to try to catch up on AIW. Okay, so I don't know how that went. Last time I saw you guys were in the JLIC tournament last year, I was there for only night one. So I don't even know how that resolved.
A little far behind.
I'm a little far behind. I'm like,
so let me catch you up on the lore.
Okay.
So Money Shot were going after me and Eric's titles.
Okay.
And I was feeling a little hesitant about it because I saw Duke talking with them a few times.
Okay.
I was like, something's not right here.
Okay.
I tried to coincide with Eric. I said, Eric, something's not right here. He said, don't worry about
and
it.
this isn't Duke Davis. This is
No,
Duke.
this is the Duke.
The Duke at AIW.
The Duke in AIW. He said, don't worry about it, Mikey. Everything's going to be fine. Before I knew it, the golden boot, the signature of the Duke, was right in the back of my head by Eric Taylor. Turned on by my own best friend.
What the hell?
And that resulted in Eric Taylor getting a moonsault from the top of a cage in Akron, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio? Akron, Ohio. I think. But anyways, we're not friends anymore. Yeah, so it's just me.
You're the Bitcoin boy now.
No. I'm the blonde blur.
Okay.
Still 2 B's, but
oh, nice. I like how you kept that together, so you didn't even have to change your tights.
No cryptocurrency involved.
Oh, good. That's kind of.
Good.
I'm glad you passed that, because that would be. I just watched Clerks 3, and there's a guy named Blockchain on there, and I realized how dated that is, and that was like a year ago, I think.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
I was even when me and Eric were still teaming, like we were given that name by Philly Collins.
Okay.
But when we started using that name, it was already at the tail end of like the buzzword of Bitcoin. And then we would go places and fans would be like, you guys really shouldn't be investing in Bitcoin because it's going down.
Wait, you're getting financial advice at the booth?
Yeah, from snot-nosed marks. Like but yeah, I was getting financial advice from people, and at a certain point I wanted to change the name. I can't remember. I just wanted to change our name to The Boys with a Z. The Boys.
The Boys.
Yeah.
But there's an Amazon show that may confuse that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I also thought of that.
Okay. So you haven't had a good luck with team names, is what
No.
you're saying.
The only one that's really stuck is Cupid's Chokehold, me and Z.
Yes. Yeah. So we got to see you guys at the last big Friday 880 show.
Yeah, that was cool.
You Wildflowers, was it? I think.
The last 880 show, we lost against the Fourth Line.
That's right.
The last time that we teamed at 880, before that, we beat the Wildflowers, Tatiana.
All right, we go roll back on that then. How scary is it to hear Casey War yell, "I'm going to drink his blood" before he even exits the entranceway?
Oh, I mean, if I'm standing in the ring waiting for somebody's music to hit, or if it's already hit, I'm in my own little space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily pay attention to my opponent or anything else that is going on around me. I am merely in my own little zone.
He doesn't even yell it around fans. That's the weird part. That's the
he
strange part to
himself.
me. It's just to psych himself up.
But you want to know? You want to know what is a boost of confidence? When we picked each other, when I picked up Ziggy and Casey picked up
Yes.
Oh yes.
And we were both on the bottom, and I backed him up to the ropes, and I just hear him from the bottom just go like he's just sucking wind, and I was like, yes. I have you right where I want you.
Yes, the shoulders chicken fight was fantastic.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was definitely a highlight. So shit. So I wanted to talk about the first time I met you. I was doing and I don't want to mess this up because I think I saw the owner of this company in one of the chats. XCIW or something. XICW. I had the right letters in the wrong order. Excuse me. It's been several years. I think it was pre-COVID when we did this. So we did a couple shows up there, and that's when I was introduced to the Bitcoin Boys. And I think this is the first show I was up there. And you guys are having a match. And you topple over. I think we talked about this the first time you came for Top Rope Tabletop. And knocked your head on the guardrail. Looked like the bottom of the guardrail, right?
Wait. Was this in Ohio?
This was in Ohio.
Okay. So it's not... I don't think it was XICW. I think it was... I'm not remembering the name of the company right now, but it was basically the feeder for AIW.
Yeah, I think I got the letters wrong, but yeah.
It was not the guardrail. So basically, the way our ring is set up is it has like a post right in the between the two turnbuckles, right? There's like two metal beams that connect with like a little post at the bottom.
UXWA.
Thank you.
There it is.
Because me and Eric are still technically the tag team champions of there. We have been for like 4 years.
Okay.
But anyways, so I held on too long doing a tope going hello. So I was going over the top rope and I pushed off the bottom or the top rope so that I would have enough oomph to get over, but I held on with my fingers. So when I came down, my head hit the bottom of the post, like, because it was like, it's like a little flat piece and then like a post that comes out of it. I hit my head on the flat piece and it just split the back of my head open. Not enough to hurt, but just enough to split it open. And I knew I had to do something right after that, so I threw Marino in. I felt the back of my head. It was pouring blood. So I tagged in Eric. I took off my shirt and tried to put it over the cut over my head and failed. So I just started pouring water bottles over the top of me, and then it eventually stopped. But I had to go to the back and get like my head super glued.
It's like you fired up once you saw the blood.
Oh yeah,
out
no.
there, and I'm like, do we need to do something here? Because I was worried because you're bleeding pretty bad from the looks of things.
Yeah, it was coming down all over my shoulders, and
that's how I was introduced to you.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think
Sorg,
that's the
I
first
don't
time I
even
ever
remember
saw
you being there.
I was, I believe I was on camera for that one. And actually, that may have been the second time I saw you because I'm looking at one with you fighting ants, and I think that's the first show.
Oh, the ants.
Yes.
I don't remember that match fondly.
Okay.
I mean, the match was fine. I just like I'm so removed from what I was back then that I look at matches and I'm just like, this guy has no idea what he's doing.
That seems. I mean, I think that's kind of I think that's most people. I think most wrestlers hate their first like several years of matches, right? So and I guess if I mean that's the point of like I have come so far since this, right?
Absolutely.
I hate everything that I did 3 years ago, even, right? At this point, so like I think that's anybody that's doing creative. So I'm actually looking at some of the footage right now, and here you are. I think you are. You see it kind of trickling down the back there.
Oh my God!
You don't realize how much you were bleeding.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I was gonna say Sork said kind of trickling down the back.
Yeah, kind of.
And it's a waterfall.
And I'm doing a fucking spot. Look at me go.
That's professional right there.
Look at that.
Moonsault.
Oh,
Bleeding everywhere. On his fresh new white gear.
oh.
And then look, yep, there we go. Dude, that's not helping nothing, Mikey. Stop what you're doing.
You're just like, I have to do something.
I was panicking. I wasn't panicking, but I was like, I have to do something about this.
But I was
wiping it. I wiped it.
Yeah, there you go. You got a lot of it.
And
you didn't know it was halfway down your back, but But yeah, that was, and I'm like, wow, these fucking Bitcoin boys. And I tried to get you booked here, but it didn't
Oh
work
yeah,
out.
no, I basically panicked here.
So-
Don't watch this. Please
Don't
turn
watch
it off.
this.
Turn it off.
Okay,
Please
moving
turn it
on,
off.
moving on, moving on. All right. So
God, that was hard to watch.
That's when it went sideways, right? What?
Oh, that was all. And I tried to do a Russian leg sweep, and his arm was behind my back. Oh my god.
Matt, True Prince of Pro, is in the chat room. Says Cupid's Chokehold are the best and should be booked together more often as a team.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it.
Yes. So and if you're curious, look up Cupid's Chokehold. There's a couple of matches over on the YouTubes that we did at 880.
Yeah,
so.
we've only had like 3 matches as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2 of them. So I mean, we're
there. You go.
66%.
That's a good percentage. Awesome. So you are an AIW student.
Yes.
The classic AIW school that a lot of us have heard about. And you were trained by Derek Dillinger and Dominic Garini.
Yep. And then for 6 months, I was trained by Josh Prohibition.
Excellent. That's a great lineage.
Oh yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's 3 very different ways
Mhm.
of learning professional wrestling, because Josh is very meticulous in the way that he does professional wrestling.
And I imagine a little more old school, right?
Old school and new school.
I would say
He's kind of like
let's say 2000s old school.
Let's think of it like DDP. You know, it's like DDP was just like on that brink of like old school, new school.
Mhm.
Like he like did old school stuff, but he would write his matches all down, like before they would go out. Like he would write down everything. Josh is like that too.
Really?
Like if you like,
and not too many people do that.
Kayfabe.
Hmm?
Can I break kayfabe?
Yeah, you can on this show.
Okay.
As long as I don't get in trouble.
So when Josh puts together matches, he types out like a Word document. And he goes, "These are all my ideas."
Okay.
And he writes and he gives you them. So I'm like, okay. I read
like the day of the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like and we just go, okay. Maybe we'll change this a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, we're good.
So he's not particularly like I always hear the story of like how Macho Man Randy Savage like months going into WrestleMania 3 wrote out the entire match for WrestleMania 3 with Steamboat. Like it's not down to that. It's just kind of like here's some ideas.
I mean a lot of it is written out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean like it's not like you do this move and I will.
It's more the arc. Of
exactly.
Happening.
Like this is how I want the story to go. Exactly.
Does Garini train you to wrestle in your bare feet?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I would never wrestle in my bare feet.
He's wild.
Yeah.
He is
for sure.
Wild.
Especially when I was first starting out, I was behind Gary. So I would just like hold the cord for him before it was cordless.
Okay.
And like so I would be watching him and he'd be doing like hardcore matches and just stepping on tacks and broken glass.
Nope.
He was like walking around like it was what's that Christmas movie? That's not a Christmas movie. Die Hard.
I think Die Hard is one, but I think Home Alone is probably the one you're thinking.
No.
I'm
thinking
Die Hard. They
Hard.
walk on broken glass.
I think they both apply here. Hey, Mad Mike is here with us.
Shit. Hi. It's fitting that I come in saying shoot the glass. Yes.
There you go. He's got our Christmas movie references here. So straight from New York. What's up, Mad Mike?
Hi. Just fed a baby and put him down, and I figure I'd talk with y'all.
Excellent. Do you have a question for our guest here? I think you've been tuning in for a little bit at least.
I literally just hopped on 2 seconds ago.
Okay, there you go. We were talking a little bit before. You have an infamous story
about
how you got paid one time.
I'll tell this story. Only because, and I told this I told this story online because a couple of people had a problem with a promoter putting out like trading cards and they were taking profit for them, but they had wrestlers' faces on them, but they weren't getting any, like proceeds from them.
Mm-hmm.
So like they'd be selling, like a pack of cards for $20 with wrestlers' promo pictures on them that they had taken themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
the wrestlers had taken the pictures.
Wrestlers had taken the pictures.
Okay.
Given them to the promoter.
Yeah.
The promoter was putting them on trading cards.
Oh, geez.
And selling them.
Yeah, because I know somebody does that around there, but I know it's his own photography and everything.
Yep.
So yeah.
So when he was selling them, it was a big commotion online.
Yeah.
And people were running to the promoter's defense, like, "Oh, he's a good guy. He would never do anything to intentionally, like hurt somebody's business or anything like that." And I had worked for this promoter before. I was a last-minute replacement for somebody that had canceled from one of their shows. This is a religious federation.
Okay. I've heard of these. I've never seen one of them.
So during like what would be intermission, he would do a sermon. Yeah. And like it was very he didn't want you to swear, wanted you to be I
was gonna say, like, what gets limited on a wrestling match?
I had a baseball jersey that on the back said Big Hog. I took electrical tape and I had to go over it so that it didn't say anything, but I kept the number. It was 26. But I was told I was hopping in the car with somebody who was going, and then they were like, "Hey, do you have anybody that can come? We need bodies." So I was like, "Okay," and he was like, I can't get you much, but I will get you something." So I was like, "Okay, that's fine." I go in and I do a triple threat match with my buddy and somebody else that I had never worked before. It was fine. We were the semi-main. I go back, I put my gear away. I'm shaking his hand. He goes, "Hey man, I told you I couldn't get you much, but I did get you something." And he hands me my envelope. And out of the kindness of my heart, or maybe just the stupidity in my brain, I waited until we got to the car to open the envelope. Oh no. And in that envelope was not a single dollar, but a printed out Bible verse. And that's it.
What was the Bible verse? I bet it was a psalm.
I'm sure it was. It was probably like one of those like printouts that they have on the outside of like a Lutheran church that he just folded up and put it in an envelope and put my name on it.
That brings a new meaning to hot dog and a handshake, I guess.
Dude, I wish I would have gotten a hot dog and a handshake.
Right.
I really wish I would have done what I don't know if I should tell the story, but I really wish I would have done what somebody told me to do one time. Is told me if somebody doesn't pay you, just walk up to the merch stand, take whatever you want, and say, the promoter told me it was okay.
I've watched somebody do that actually,
and I think we both know who we're talking about.
I have a. Actually, I don't think it's the same one.
Okay,
we'll talk. We'll have a commercial break. We can talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. But that could fit a lot of people actually.
Yeah,
so
for sure, that's an old Carney trick.
It is an old Carney trick. Anyways, well, hey, we're going to talk about something else here that's going to make probably a partner feel a lot older in a moment. But in the meantime, you can see that match. That match is over at IndyWrestling.us. UXWA is the promotion. As well as a lot of great stuff. We had a lot of great shows this past weekend.
And you can watch anything else other than that match on IndyWrestling.us. Actually.
Well, good news. It's not part of the network. They would have to pay exclusively.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There
I
we
bought
go.
my thing. They're professional over here. No, you can see a lot of stuff going on. We actually had a lot of shows this past weekend. There was 880 Wrestling on Thursday. That was pretty wild. We also did have we had 2PW and RWA over the weekend. Just some crazy shows. But of course, the biggest one I think is appropriate to talk to you guys here as part of this plug here is our own Dutters had a little bit of a moment. Friday night was 2PW's Wreck the Halls, and somebody got her own entrance. And Tron, if you haven't seen this clip yet, you can go check this out. It's for free over on our YouTube page right now. The 2PW Kicking Cancer's Ass Champion. This was a benefit show for young Scarlett Jones that was dealing with childhood leukemia. They raised over $1,400 for Scarlett at the show.
That's
and of course,
amazing.
we do have the matches will be coming out. The matches are free. There's a QR code to still donate if you would like to over there. If you're watching us on video now, or if you go to our YouTube and check out any of those matches or the show Wreck the Halls, the entire show's up for free. The matches will be coming out here. Pasta Death Match I think is dropping tonight if you want to go check that out too. Flaming Pasta, there you go.
What did you just say?
Pasta Death Match.
There's a flaming pasta.
There's flaming pasta happened there. We'll get to that in a moment, maybe. That might be for Patreon. But of course, who should get involved with that David Lawless character?
My God.
You've dealt with David Lawless at some point. Yeah, look at him saying that Dutter should thank him for the belt and everything. And of course, things end as you would expect.
Oh my
and for
God,
your
I
audio,
love
you
that.
got a slap.
Oh.
There's a good slap right there. And Lebanon Don and Don Murphy is sleeper holding back Lawless there for a moment. And he's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. And then nope. And duck the clothesline and Dutter's boot.
Oh,
There you go.
She
what
didn't
has she got in
leave
that
the belt.
boat?
There you go.
I just want to point out she didn't leave the belt. It stayed
yeah,
on her shoulder.
Yeah, the belt stayed on the shoulder the whole time. Absolute
This is gonna be
professional.
controversial. That's the best big boot I've seen in wrestling in 2023.
She threw it too. What's in that boat?
Some Doc Martens, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think they called it on commentary. So
They were
So
loaded.
go check that out. Pasta Deathmatch 3, Xander Gabriel and Chest Flexor.
There's 3 of them.
Yes, and there's a baguette on a pole match as well.
Did they finally do the Taipei Penne?
They did not do it in there, but they did have
God damn it.
I know you have to wait for Pasta Deathmatch 4. But there was a plate of pasta on fire.
Where do I get booked for this?
Honestly,
Honestly,
get in with the Gambinos.
Heard that. Gambino's hit me up.
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly,
And if you don't mind going out to Worthington past the racist sign, then the glow up sign, then you're good to go.
I will put my blinders on.
Yeah.
Pasta.
So, not reflective of the town or the promotion, just the guy that owns that sign. Anyways, you've probably seen it on TikTok. So that's what's happening there. We had what did we have a mark here for? So I thought it was interesting because we were talking a little bit about how we watch wrestling, and we were talking about VHS tapes. Like you and I were talking a little bit about what we were taking off of last week, and how Derek Direction, Derlinger used to have tapes on, and I actually looked up blank tapes on Amazon, and I know you're of a generation that this probably sounds crazy.
Yep.
But like some of us grew up, like I didn't have cable, couldn't even watch pay-per-views. 3 months later, when SummerSlam gets on tape, I rent it, and then I have 2 VCRs, and I'm recording it onto one of those blank tapes that I was showing you, along with probably WrestleMania 7. So, or a Royal Rumble, because that's all they had was like the big 4, right? And then I watched my Sunday morning Superstars, and that was it. So that was my WWE network. And often you end up watching like WrestleMania 7 and Royal Rumble 1992 just because they're on the same tape, because that's what would fit on a 6-hour tape at the time, right? So you grew up with YouTube.
I did.
And I know you had quite a different experience.
I did. I will give you that the first bit of wrestling that I did receive, like home video, was a VHS of 97 Backlash.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did have that.
You started there. Okay.
Okay. And then the next bit of wrestling media that I had was a ripped copy of WrestleMania 24 on a DVD. Yeah.
Okay.
Like so ripped that it had like the basic like ripped DVD menu of like the chapters, but it didn't match up. So if you would hit a chapter and it would be like the mid of it would be mid Hornswoggle or mid JBL versus Fit Finley.
This is a different era that I forgot about.
Did you? Dude, that's my favorite WrestleMania.
Like did
the Money in the Bank ladder match for Matt Hardy's about to, or where MVP is about to get the get the briefcase, and Matt Hardy runs out after breaking his back like 6 months ago, and Twist of Fate's him off of like a 12-foot ladder. It's the best moment.
This is the Floyd Mayweather WrestleMania.
Yes. Oh my God.
No, 24 is a very underrated WrestleMania.
I love that WrestleMania.
This is very
This is
good.
Edge Undertaker, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
And it's I'm Sorry I Love You.
CM. Oh yeah, it's I'm Sorry I Love You Super Kick. It's CM Punk winning the briefcase for the first time
Mm-hmm.
after the utmost Shelton Benjamin performance in that match. Shelton Benjamin was the MVP of that match.
Mm-hmm.
Before, I think it was because Jeff is always going to do the swanton through the ladders. You know, that's a classic Jeff spot. But okay, yeah, that's the first bit. That's the first 2 bits of wrestling media I had, and then after that, I had my first smartphone was an LG View 2. It had a very rudimentary browser on it, but it did have YouTube, so I would watch wrestling on it, but not just any wrestling, Swerve.
Hold on. I found the phone.
You found the
If
phone.
you want to kind of narrow this
Yes.
down,
Look at
it
that
is a
bad
View
boy.
2. It is a oh my gosh, what
It's-
year is this?
Do you have the slide out keyboard version?
I don't know. I don't think so. So it just looks like this, but it has a slide out keyboard.
Yeah.
Those
Has-
days.
it
Was
has a
that like a Windows phone maybe?
No, it
No,
was
it
early
looks
Android.
Android.
It's early
It was
Android? Oh, okay. Okay.
But this was the days of YouTube where people were putting out like backyard wrestling clips, and there was a lot of I started out with trampoline wrestling, which was basically just music videos, like music video wrestling, but with people doing wrestling moves on trampolines.
I think I found it. Tell me if this is it.
Yes, best of Australian backyard wrestling.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you look up IYHWA on YouTube,
That's so
please?
many letters.
IYHWA.
I think I heard about this.
I need to see the video list. I don't know if you can.
Here we go. We got this thing. You
Hang
mean like
on.
something
I
like
need to
this?
get close because I have bad eyes.
Okay. Well, I guess I can make it bigger, maybe a little bit. Yeah, there's only he doesn't have that big of a monitor there. What am I looking for? We're I'm looking for 8 Deadly Sins Part 1. Am I gonna get pulled from YouTube
14
for
years
this?
ago.
It's so.
The company went under. You're fine.
Okay. All right. I'm sure
Okay,
it's
yeah.
fine. They have 7,000. It's had 28,000
Jimmy Moore,
views.
look at him.
Jimmy Moore, look at
Dude,
this
look at those.
guy.
They bought kick pads off of eLucha,
Uh-huh.
and they're doing their damnedest.
Mhm.
Look at them doing technical wrestling.
Right behind
Look at them
Mom's
doing
house.
some spots.
Oh.
Wow! Whoa!
Dang.
Whoa!
Nice.
They're
that
doing
looks,
some trips. Look at that.
look. That looks.
Boom! Athleticism on
That
a
looks-
homemade ring.
That looks more.
Boom!
That looks more snug than the
Boom.
than NXT we were watching tonight. God. Okay. Yeah.
I got caught on a rabbit hole of this. I
Mhm.
recently just watched this like 3 months ago, and I was like,
Subscribe.
they are doing some innovative spots. There's this one big guy that's in like some Punisher shorts in one
Mhm.
of the videos that I do not remember the name of. But he and this other kid are doing some technical wizard stuff. There's this one kid called he wanted to be the Undertaker so bad, but they wouldn't let him use the name, so they called him the Underminer. But he was this little kid, like he was like, you know, like a cruiserweight style wrestler. He had like shorts on and kick pads, but him and this big kid in the Punisher shorts are doing some like early ROH technical wrestling that is just mind blowing that I have yet to recreate with anybody. And I'm going to
So you are Emily. Are we waiting for the day where you just do one of these matches with somebody?
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Like some of like, don't get me wrong, a lot of it is sloppy.
Yeah.
A lot of it is sloppy.
These guys are like,
But
most definitely untrained.
Yeah, no doubt. But like, because they're so untrained, they don't have like the mindset of like this only works with this and this and this. So like they're coming up. There he is. Is that Underminer? No, that's not Underminer. Sorry, no, different shorts. Wait, this is the match, dude. I think we're getting to some
Is
good
it
shit.
Unearthed
Oh.
versus Adam Chunky Part 2?
Yes, Unearthed. Go to Unearthed.
Okay, let's see what I can find here.
I'm looking at this. I see a kid in a Punisher shirt. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, this seems about right.
Versus Underminer, I think.
All right, I'll see what I can do here.
Anyway,
Cryptic-
I'm sorry I
Cryptic
got you guys
versus
on
Adam
this.
Chunky.
Cryptic versus
Adam Chunky. I'm looking for it. Okay. Anyways, you're saying.
I'm sorry I got down this weird rabbit hole, guys. But
Oh,
a
it's
lot
Hey,
of
this show,
Oh,
this
hey,
this show
This
is
show
for
is
the love.
designed for weird rabbit
Yeah, this is
holes.
for the love of wrestling, and if this is what it is,
This
then
is
this
the
is what it
wrestling
is. This is
that
what
I
got
love.
you here. This is a Cryptic versus
Damn,
Adam
he got that
Chunky.
kid up for an air raid crash.
dude, look, they have their friends and family here doing like they don't have mics, but they're doing
Mhm.
Dude, look at this.
You got Adam
dude,
Chunky
they're
up
just
for an
doing
air raid crash.
yeah, they're
That's
just
pretty good.
they're just doing some technical wrestling.
Just under that tree and shit. Okay.
Oh, a Muda lock. Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right. So this is again. This is IYHWA.
Yep.
Have fun.
Will Ospreay actually credits a lot of his stuff to these guys.
No shit.
Yeah. If you go to like Will Ospreay's
I got a problem with the camera work on this match though.
Yeah,
Personally.
absolutely.
That's and
But
that,
if you go to Will Ospreay's
and, then,
Instagram,
and that
that-
full moon that just came out.
Hey, Sorg, that was a waning moon at best.
but if you go to like Will Ospreay's Instagram, he has like a photo with these guys.
Yeah.
That like he's just like I don't know, like shirtless after a match that he invited these guys to.
Oh,
Yeah. He's like shirtless and he's just like, dude, these guys, I credit these guys with their innovation and like that, I took after these guys. I watched all their stuff.
By the way, I think it's really I don't know. It's probably just my algorithm here, but I do kind of enjoy that. There's an enjoy wrestling right next to it. So, but yeah.
Wait,
no.
you're right next to it, Sorg. Go back.
What?
Go back.
What?
back.
What?
Reese Hayes is right there.
Oh look!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, this is our live spots. Oh, this is my algorithm.
Yeah, that's your
This is just my
algorithm.
algorithm.
that's
Okay.
your algorithm.
Okay, there you go. Anyways, this is tremendous. I have
This is
subscribed on the
amazing.
Mayhem account. So
I mean, they're not putting out new videos.
no. But there's plenty of catalog here.
Oh, for sure. The account's dead as of like 8 years ago, but it's like
jeez.
and like
Their last video was 3 years ago.
is
Oh,
it just like
shit.
is it just like a thanks
It's
for
like
the
the
memories type
finale.
thing?
The finale.
Can you take me higher? Oh, sorry, we're gonna get DMC.
Yeah, that's gonna give me a
Oh
note.
no, yeah, no. I just played it just now. The finale, the music video. It's of My Chemical Romance.
Of course it is.
Is it black? What is it? Black.
It's
Parade?
Black Parade.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I heard, boop, I was like, oh no, I'm out. Like, it's just,
So when there needs to be a where are they now? Can we get this crew on the podcast, you think?
yeah, can we get
Just be
everybody
like,
here on
listen,
this, on
we
this
want
show?
and you would host it because you know this.
Oh
Yeah, if we did this, get everybody on a Zoom call, get you in the studio, and be like,
Well, they
"Listen,
went through
guys."
like 2 locations.
yeah,
They did
there's
like
2 eras.
Kid
Oh,
with the-
it's just like
wow,
Rise
I'm seeing
Wrestling.
This,
kid with the
this
green
Dawn
shorts.
of the Immortal.
Kid with the green shorts is like the undercover promoter.
Okay,
With the green shorts.
Yeah.
That is Blair Liger, I believe.
Yeah, so he is like doing this like faction thing where he's like any person that he like wants in his faction, he like puts him through like the ringer and then he gives him the green shorts or whatever. Yeah. But he's like the promoter, right? Because it's like his dad's like whatever compound that they built this ring at or whatever. And then they had like a 3-year gap when they weren't making videos. And then they were like, we're back, guys. We're back at our new compound with the new ring. Because if you look at like the earlier videos, it's like not even a ring.
I'm looking at the old ring. I'm looking at the old ring.
Like the ropes are not even real.
They're just wrestling on sheets of foam.
Yep, absolutely. The ropes are not even real.
I gotta say though, this is some impressive chain wrestling. Cryptic versus Liger, Dawn of the Immortals.
They are making it work, dude. Absolutely. And like some of the other,
they're doing wheelbarrow spots. They're doing like
double
like bridge up.
dude, they're
spots,
doing like wheelbarrow, like that wheelbarrow
Hmm.
buster gimmick, that super dangerous move where you grab somebody underneath their head and like hold their legs so that they crunch. Like they're doing that move like not like they're calling that spot, and the guy taking it's like okay.
Oh,
Yeah, these are brutal to watch.
Wait, have we even got to look up Best of Australian Backyard Wrestling 2. This is a pivotal video in my childhood.
Best of Australian Backyard Wrestling
2.
Oh.
I will know it's the right video as soon as it starts playing. Yes. There it is.
It's just black and white text.
Yeah,
That's it.
There it
There it is.
Boom.
Oh
Into
my
a backbreaker.
God. Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. That kid
Yeah.
was real. Oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
Light tubes.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's a curb stomp on a curb?
Oh
Shit.
my
Boom.
Oh,
Bam.
Jesus.
Yeah.
this is gnarly.
They're
Wow.
taking
Oh my
head
God.
bumps. They're taking,
Oh my
dude.
God.
They're doing dangerous stuff, and I am
Oh,
livid.
I
for
just
it.
saw a sequence of about 5 tombstones that looked nasty.
About
Hold on.
about halfway through this video. Watch, dude. He's about to
Oh.
do a thing onto nothing. Watch.
He's
Wait,
just-
there's about to. Oh my God. I'm
I
just
just rolled
waiting.
up
Oh,
back.
dude, into the shooter into the fucking cover.
Oh, that ref. That ref.
He
Can we
shot
go back?
into
Can we
him.
go back,
He
please?
shot This
I need to see that again.
This
He
is the
shot
greatest. No,
into-
you need to go back.
He
like,
did a
Yeah, go back
shooting.
more.
Listen.
No,
He's
keep
got
going.
purple
Keep
hair.
going.
First
Yes.
guy.
There we go.
Yes.
1, 2,
Yes.
3.
All right, I want to see Earl Hebner do that.
That's okay if you're on audio. This
Where's
guy-
Ref Aubrey?
The first guy, they're not even in a ring. It's just like a trash bag. I don't know. The first guy does a shooting
trash
star
bag.
onto the guy for the pin, and then the referee with purple hair does a shooting star and starts counting the pin. What the hell?
And,
It's the best
credit to
thing
the,
I've
credit to the
ever
referee.
Hmm?
That ref started counting as soon as he landed
Yeah.
the shooting.
Yeah,
star.
there was no adjustment. It was on coming down. He
Look at
did the
this.
one.
Yep.
Look at this. Bam! Oh. Oh, wait, hang on. That wasn't
Oh.
the move I was thinking it was.
Oh!
Oh! Bam!
Jeez.
Bam! 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 Bam!
We should also.
Oh my
we
god.
should
Bam!
also throw
Bam!
There's so much
Don't
head
do this.
injury here.
Don't try this at home.
Listen,
No.
man.
Go to a school.
Go
Jesus, this
go
is-
to
train. Go
Go to
train.
Australia.
Go train.
Dude,
There's got to
There's a
be
lot
some
fun
good
there.
schools in Australia.
listen.
Holy
Oh, no.
crap.
You can
Oh,
say
no.
whatever
No.
you want. I
Nope,
love
nope,
it.
Don't do
Oh.
that.
Oh.
I thought that was gonna be a lot worse.
I'm like Emerald Lagasse over here. Bam! Oh, flips to his feet.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry for everybody on
Bam!
audio right now, but this
This
is
is-
bonkers. Just hit play on this video
Bam!
when we hit
Oh.
Bam!
and I'm sure it'll
I mean,
sync.
We are agreeing
Whoa.
that we're seeing so many like neck injuries.
Oh,
happening
yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like oh
Like
You-
enjoy your rubber bodies now, children. Once you get past 20,
I like that. I
that
like
shit
that.
goes
that-
away
I
real
like
quick.
that dropout thing he did off the rope.
Oh,
Dude, that
Oh,
was sick.
That was not a good
That
song.
was sick.
Jeez. These are definitely a bunch of kids I would have been hanging out with in school. I think I was hanging out with this because listen, we did backyard wrestling, but we did not do that kind of shit.
Dude,
we had
I'm impressed
there was a
that one destroyer went from the ground to the ring.
to the ring
Like,
apron, right?
That was an elevated destroyer.
Yeah, I've
seen
never
ones
Do you
that-
know how
that-
athletic
they're
you have to
trend
be to do that?
downward.
Yeah, and not end up in the hospital.
Oh, they were ending up in the
Who
hospital.
is Cyrus
they
the
were
dead
in-
body?
Hey, you know what? If you're in Canada and your healthcare is free, by all means, give it a
Dude,
go.
there's
How's
a-
Australia roll?
Dude, there's a deathmatch break at the end of that video where it's just like 45 seconds of them just like hitting each other with light tubes. But right before it, speaking of Die Hard, he just goes, there's a thing that just goes, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. And then it just goes, yeah.
Ah, fantastic.
Well, let's see. The Australian healthcare system is the 32nd most effective in the world.
There's a
Fair
lot
enough.
of health.
He's
So, so
Sense-
better than the US. Yeah.
Essential and urgent
Exactly.
hospital treatment is free, so they're
There
really
you go.
trying to go the distance here.
And they know exactly how it happened. It's all on video.
Exactly. So how did this? Yeah. Wow.
A lot of that trauma center is going.
Well,
crazy.
we got the trauma. It's most active trauma center in there. Shout out to PWA Academy in Australia.
We noticed that 45% of our intakes come in with kick pads.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Backyard wrestling promotions changing locations because someone moved to a new house is always my favorite thing. There's a certain wrestling promotion that's been around for a good long time that kind of started in this this kind of venue. So but I remember the change of like, whose house are we at now? And I'm like, yeah.
And then they were like Swerve's house.
Oh. And now they're celebrating an anniversary. So there you go. We got to start training refs locally to hit shooting star presses when they count the pins. Referee George Ross.
Yeah.
Listen, we have
There
a
we go.
task
Dude,
for you.
if there's anybody who can't do a shooting star press, it's fucking George.
Give me Perch, give me Nick Shin, give me
Perch.
I want
Dude,
Bryce
Perch-
to do it the next
Perch
day.
is
If
that-
there's anybody who I feel confident doing one, it's Perch.
Mm-hmm.
Perch would do one, and you would ask him to
was-
do it. You would ask him to do it, and he'd be like, "Yeah, sure."
He is the guy who the only AAW show that I directed. There was a Everybody Everywhere Weapons Manser and a bunch of guys in the crowd at the Eagles Club in Chicago, and somehow Perch was the only one bleeding the entire night.
What, do you just get caught with a stray shot?
I think a trash can got thrown and it caught him in the eye, and he just was
Ooh.
bleeding bad. But he is the happiest. If you don't know him, Perch XLV on the Twitter, he is the happiest man in professional wrestling.
Look at that man.
that I've ever freaking met.
Look at that man.
He
If
is
there's-
just, if he's around at a show, you're gonna have a happy show. And he's a good one to have. I think he's been at Warrior as well. Has he been up in the Chicago area with you guys? I can't remember. He's around. He gets around the Midwest pretty good. So one of the
I mean, I've seen him everywhere.
oh yeah. It's-
I look at places I don't expect to see him at, and I'm like, "You're here."
you're just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
That's pretty much the wrestling
just hanging
role.
out.
God, I'm just going to leave these on in the background. Okay, we need a breather after
Or you
that.
just
We're-
leaving
yeah, no, it just
Australian backyard
leaving
wrestling on in the
on.
backyard.
So if you're just here and I'm just reacting to something, wow, that flew off. We're gonna come back. I don't know how much AEW we want to talk about, but we've had a loss here at the Wrestling Mayhem show, and we're going to get to it after we did. So I should lead into this next part. Top Rope Tabletop is this Friday, December 15th. It's going to be here at Sorgatron Media. It will be streaming on all the IndyWrestling.us stuff for free. So please tune in there. It's going to be a good time. Tony Kincaid is going to be leading that. Mike, you've gotten involved with the Top Rope Tabletop Dungeons and Dragons, and you have been a energetic addition to the party. I must say.
I appreciate that.
Yes. So
I think I'm energetic because I haven't been so not necessarily brought down, but I haven't been beaten over the head with a bunch of lore that I have to pay attention
and you
to.
came in the second campaign too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the majority of the time, I have no idea what's going on.
That's pretty much been my D&D experience too.
Yeah.
So I tune in every episode.
But I
I'm
mean,
still trying to catch up.
So I come at it with the same energy pretty much every time because I don't know. I feel like. Oh,
sorry, I played a video.
Oh, sorry.
I just saw some ridiculous shit. Sorry.
I come with the same energy for it because I don't know. I'm not so overbearing by the lore that I have this huge responsibility to remember a bunch of stuff. So I'm still very it's like when you get a new job and you're still sort of happy to be there. And you're just like, oh yeah, no, this could be good. It's gonna be good. And then you get 2 years in, and you're like, when is it end? But no, my D&D experience is super awesome. Learning all the mechanics of it is a little bit difficult, but it's a good brain teaser. I love it. And I finally got to create something that wasn't a bard for the new playthrough that we're doing on Friday. Wait, should I reveal what I'm doing?
I don't know. Should you?
Yeah, sure. I'm doing a cat girl character.
Okay.
well, I guess you would call it a Leonin. But I'm doing like a fighter class. I'm gonna be a battle master, so I have like a bunch of maneuvers that I can do with my attacks. But the mini that I got at Miller's Crossing Fleetique. They have like these like little Lego figures that are just like in the case out front, and I put together like a little Catgirl character, and I took a cape off of a Power Rangers figure, and I fastened it onto her, and I gave her 2 blades. She's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Her name is Yuri Cat Ears, or Yuri Soft Ears Bakar.
Nice.
Her friends call her Soft Ears. You call her Yuri.
Dutters, I believe, is going to be a part of this as well.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
And the last character she had no pants and a top hat.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about the no pants. Were they wearing underwear?
I don't remember. I don't remember how deep they got into the details on that one.
You know what I really did appreciate that you did one time is you put what we did in the campaign through. I don't know if it was like AI or what you used, but you put what we did through like a thing, and it just like read out through.
Oh, was
our
that
Facebook
when like
Messenger.
Tony was on the call or something like that?
Yes.
And yeah, because I did through Zoom, and we have an AI thing on Zoom. I
So-
mean, I can also take the transcript of it, and stick it in AI and see what happens too.
Yeah, because I mean that was helpful to an extent to remember what we did in the last game.
Absolutely. I think they have to pay next week, so I have to stop using that one service. So, and I pay for enough AI services right now to get my work done. So tune in, even if you don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons.
Pro wrestlers, and pro wrestling personalities playing Dungeons and Dragons, so you know it's going to be entertaining. Tune in. They've been doing this for a while. Back catalog is on IndyWrestling.network and on the YouTube for IndyWrestling.us. But here, we're going to take a moment, and Tony's going to let us know what we have in store this Friday.
Hi, I'm Tony Kincaid. You might know me from every wrestling show in the Pittsburgh area, well, most of them, and Top Rope Tabletop. Man, what a doozy of a game that was. Jeez, I'm still unpacking everything. And because it's the holiday season, Keith, the Bearcat Keith Hott, was kind enough to allow me to do my annual tradition of our annual holiday game. So, look forward to some merriment and joy and cheer. Did I mention merriment? There was another M word. What was it? Oh yeah! Murder? So yes, maybe it won't be as bloody as I'm acting it up to be, but join us December 17th, where we will be holding the annual Kincaid's Chaos holiday show. Yeah, that sounds good. We hope to see you there.
Introducing first, fighting out of the 4-1-2.
She just flew in from Orlando.
This is
Picture's worth 1,000 words. With Super Oprah.
Super Oprah is one of the most unique athletes I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Partner for okay! I have to wrestle it her way as much of a factor. That is the task that awaits.
Well, you got your answer, Jason.
Things have taken a turn for the worse for Danny Moe. Of the Neon Blonde. Oh, wow! Is the anger fueling Oprah?
Tornado DDT.
Bonanza that has been Super Oprah.
Look out.
Here is your winner.
Get bigger than Super Oprah. And if you can't handle it, Jim, maybe you ought to go home. Right out the door.
Oh, I came back now. Hey, guys, it's the Wrestling Mayhem show. I hit a button, and that's fine, because we wanted to come back anyways. That's fine. It's only my own thing I didn't advertise. SidekickMediaServices.com. Be your superhero sidekick in your production. Anyways, there, I finished the ad. So, you just don't hear Katie saying it. Or you're on audio, and it doesn't even matter. We are here. Mikey Montgomery is here, and he has questions.
Oh, I have questions.
You had a question that you asked, and I figured it would be more entertaining to explain.
Oh yeah, what is the Iron Survivor tournament or the Iron Survivor Challenge?
So here's how it goes, and this was apparently the brainchild. I'm using air quotes. Brainchild of Shawn Michaels. So it is a 25-minute match. There is literally a clock that counts up to 25 minutes, right? And you
why wouldn't it count?
Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
That is the first thing. There are 5 people in this match. The point of the match is to get the most pinfall submissions in the match. When you are pinned, you go into a penalty box for 90 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you ready? But it starts with 2 people, and another person gets added every 5 minutes. So not everybody gets in there until 15 minutes into the thing. So the last person only has 10 minutes to get all the pins that they can.
Right.
But also, you have everybody else has been in there, so they should be a little better.
They're fresher than Daisy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So they're trying to mix in an Iron Man match, a scramble, and the concept of a Royal Rumble.
Kind of. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
it's essentially like a staggered King of the Mountain.
It is. It is certainly the most complicated match that WWE has probably
Right,
ever
and
done.
the only way in my mind to make that sense for why one person comes in before the other is if you have like lead up to that pay-per-view being like, this guy won this match so he gets placed here, or this guy lost this match so
They
he
have
gets placed here.
then they have qualifiers that the veterans pick the qualifying matches.
Yeah,
So,
they
like,
had qualifying matches, but the placement, the entrance into the match is random.
Yeah. So like Mick Foley will be on 1 week and say, "Hey, I think this guy and this guy should fight for a spot, and I think this girl and this girl should fight." Like Mick Foley will pop up, and then Jerry Lawler popped up, and then Lita did 1
and
week.
JBL.
Yeah, and JBL did 1 week to help kind of build up to that. So that was the build.
So they're wrestling for an opportunity to be in the Iron Survivor match,
And the winner of the match gets a title shot.
right?
So, and they both
So,
get,
but there's no match that you can win that would determine what order that you go. in.
no, that is apparently random. I
Oh,
think.
because it depends.
Hmm.
It depends if you want to be in there first or you want to be in there last.
Mhm.
Why
Do
wouldn't
you want to have the most time to get pinfalls or submissions?
Yeah.
Or do you want to come in fresh to the daisy when everyone's beat to hell?
Mhm.
You still have 10
So-
minutes left. So
There's
yeah,
strategy.
it's not like you're
So-
coming in with like a
So
minute
there,
left.
yeah. So there's a couple versions of strategy there, right? So there's that.
Well, it's kind of like Elimination Chamber is random.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Who
actually
gets out?
that's probably the most similar to what it is. It's most similar. It's like King of the Mountain plus elimination.
Well, yeah. Tina says King of the Mountain and a time scramble match combined.
Yeah.
So
See, I always like the idea of like when a baby face is like getting downtrodden by the authority figure or whatever. It's like you have to come in first here or last here. That's always my favorite story.
I mean, they could add that in.
Absolutely.
They haven't, but they could add that in.
Yeah, they haven't done authority figure in NXT for a good while.
Like,
I mean,
Shawn
this
Michaels
is only the
is there.
second time. This is only the second time they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like refresh my memory. Was it when John Cena held the championship? Did they make him come out first in the Elimination Chamber and then he won that and then Edge came out?
Maybe, but also they
No.
did do the thing with Roman Reigns where I think he came in first and had to defend his title at Royal Rumble.
Nope. You're
No?
at Rumble, yeah, but they've never done anything where certain people have won their spot to start the elimination chamber.
Not to start,
They've had-
but for a better spot.
No, they've had people like if you lost a match,
Mm-hmm.
then you had to start the elimination.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
But the only disadvantage to that is you're in the match longer, and once you're pinned, you're done.
Right.
So this match is a little different. If you're pinned, you're just out for 90 seconds. You can regroup, you can refresh yourself, and then you come back in.
What does the
And
penalty
it's-
box look like? Is it like
The
a telephone?
box.
Is it like a telephone box
It's
from
the
yeah.
coal mine. It's the coal mine.
It's the coal mine, but with lights on it.
Is it? Oh, it's like a
Yeah.
it's
And
like
no
a,
lid.
It's like a
And no-
polyester
and no
box
top.
or whatever.
Polyester.
Yeah, it's,
Or, I'm sorry,
it's
plastic.
plexiglass without a lid.
Plexiglass.
So there's no lid.
Yeah.
And there's no lid, so you can do stuff off the top of it.
Yeah. Or you can have multiple people, which they did have, get pinned back to back, and then you have two people in the penalty box at the same time, beating the shit out of each other.
Do you remember when
in the penalty box?
Do you guys remember when TNA had the had that like bird cage that they had to get people to try and climb out through the small
asylum?
hole?
Oh, the
asylum.
Terrordome.
No.
Terrordome.
Terrordome was WCW. I think it is the asylum.
No, it was the Terrordome, and then they changed it to the Steel Asylum.
He's right. He's right.
Yeah, you're right. Sacrifice.
I know, because every time one wrestling podcast I listen to, every time they bring it up, they call it Terrordome.
Because Homicide couldn't climb out of it.
No, Jeff Hardy couldn't.
No,
Jeff Hardy was on the top of the thing.
I think
Jeff Hardy climbed on the outside.
Homicide.
Jeff showed up afterwards. Yeah,
Homicide couldn't climb up.
And I think Suicide got his foot stuck.
Yes,
he did. So
that was the most dangerous cage of all time.
All right, guys. On that note, I have bad news. And part of this show that has been part of this show for probably over a decade.
Oh, yeah.
Something bad. Riz witnessed this.
Mm-hmm.
It happened during the Awesome Cast, but today, today, my butt needs to say goodbye.
No, not Big Dave.
To Big Dave. I have had this Armageddon chair that was gifted to me by one Kicking Cancer's Ass champion several years ago for my birthday. And it collapsed on me today as we were on the Awesome Cast. And I was telling people about the Adult Entertainment Expo. It made sense in context, okay?
Sorg got really excited about the Adult Entertainment Expo.
Yeah, and checking out the various things you could look at there.
You can go to the website. It's mostly safe for work. I'll show it now. I'm not afraid to show it on this show. So this will get
this show's not safe for work.
This will get a special
has to be for Twitch.
This will get a special place somewhere in the studio, but will not be sat upon.
What's wrong? What actually broke on it, Sorg?
Well, I don't know. We got. Like,
hand it over.
You got this broke. You got the top part. There's some breakage here going on.
Sorg, I think to give the chair a proper send off, what we need to do is you need to not tell one of the STDs during the STD Christmas special.
I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it anymore. It's an heirloom.
Just so you know, it is $155 on eBay.
And that year's Armageddon was brought to you by Call of Duty for Modern Warfare. What are you doing? What is he do? What are you doing?
Fixing it, Sorg.
Probably be fixed, but yeah, it's a cap, right? Yep. It's gone. It's that's going to be put aside, and well. You know, Batista,
hang it on a hook somewhere.
This show, I've been riding Batista's face on this show this whole time.
It's a big face on Big Dave.
That will not be no longer. So
that's a shame.
The show that debuted the Edgeheads, Zack Ryder and whatever the guy's name was there,
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins. Thank you. It's been so long since it's been Kurt Hawkins. So, yep. Pour one out, if you will. Pour one out.
God, speaking of WrestleMania 24, the Edgeheads.
The Edgeheads, yes,
dude. Underrated Undertaker match that was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember like half of it, but
that was Jimmy Corderas' big moment, I think, right? Because he took the bump in it. He was specifically asked by Taker and Edge to be the referee in it.
Yeah.
So. We talked about it on the show when he was on. So yeah, it was that's a big one there.
And then the next year I saw Taker and Shawn when they did that big Snuka's son bump, or like when Snuka's son was the cameraman. Yep. I saw that at a remember Blast Zones.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that at the Fox and Hound. I know, remember that?
Fox and Hound. Wow. That's when Santina Marella became Miss WrestleMania.
Oh, my
Those were the days. So AEW has a tournament. I'm loving it. By the way, although I think they really need to put the graphic up a little bit longer so you can figure out what the fuck is going on, because I think a lot of people do not understand what's happening there.
It's like when fake FBI agents flash their badge.
Exactly. And there's a tournament, there's some numbers, but this doesn't make any sense. It's on the website. That's fine, I guess. If nothing else, I love that on Rampage and on this week at least, and over on Collision, I think you have the best people to explain what's happening and the story of what's happening. And that's what matters. Like seeing that graphic for a couple seconds is not necessarily. If you listen to the commentary, Kevin Kelly is doing a superb job of telling you how important this win is for this person. Is this person mathematically eliminated? Is this the last-ditch effort for Mark Briscoe or this person, right? So I think those stories are representing themselves very, very well when it comes. And it is a big introduction to the American audiences, and it could be a success, it could not be. I don't know. I haven't been looking at the ratings. We'll see. And also, we'll see how things turn out here at the end of the month at the pay-per-view, when we see how things do shake out here in a couple weeks. So,
is it like an A block and a B block?
Yep.
Oh, so it's New Japan
their
style.
version of the G1.
Yeah. Okay.
It really is. I'll actually pull up the graphic.
So for AEW's like original target audience, they would kind of get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. But it's also an introduction. Like I said, go ahead.
One thing that does kind of bug me. There's all these different ways of winning and earning points.
Mm-hmm.
They've only done wins and losses.
That is,
and the tournament is almost over.
And there's twice. There's twice I thought they were going to go to a draw. I'm
telling you, Swerve and Mox is going to a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tony Khan even put out a point to tweet earlier tonight that TNT is granting them an extra 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so you're basically telling us Swerve and Mox are going to a draw.
So you got this grid, and basically,
Whoa, that's confusing.
Basically, everybody fights everybody. Like you see the names across the top, where the crosses over that's a match being represented, right? That's why you're blanked out across the middle, because John Moxley is not fighting John Moxley. This is not Mortal Kombat, although it kind of is.
They really made that over.
But this is what they do. The New Japan ones look more complicated, I think.
Why? It's just two blocks with people with points.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just give you the matches that are happening that day. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's less complicated.
Well, they do that, but
the big problem is they didn't set the schedule before the tournament started.
Do they? I guess maybe that stuff doesn't really matter as much to me. Like what I want in wrestling is to not be confused.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment that I have to really think about it is the moment that I'm taken out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like looking at that Jeopardy board that you call a block. It takes my brain a second for it to wrap around it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you just give me the list of the wrestlers, how many points they have,
how many matches they have left,
how many matches they have left, and then just separate that, and then being like, okay, these are the matches that are happening today. I don't need to know what matches have happened already. I don't need to know what matches are not happening today. I need to know.
Yeah, like this. That is.
But see, that shows
there's
you
points.
When all the matches are.
Well, this
shows you when all the matches are. Those are dates.
This is.
I thought those were points.
I was confused on that too.
It's confusing.
That's also confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Just wrestler points and matches remaining, and put little graphics of who's left.
And I thought, I think they're not like, if you look at like I'm showcasing the graphics here, but like there is the general breakdown. Hey, he's 3-0, he's 2-0, he's 2-0. Like there is that breakdown as well, and you have
leave it like that.
Yeah, so that they do all of it. They do all of it to
but they
help
don't show
push
that
you along.
on TV.
No, they don't. They don't show this on TV, but they do have like he's 2-0, he's 3-1. Whatever the case may be, right? Like that is happening to a certain point. So
actually, the other thing is, notice they don't have it 3-0.
Yeah,
we were talking about how you can have a tie, so you should have it. Everyone should have 3 wins, losses, and ties.
Classically, you don't put the tie on until there is a tie.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like NHL,
classically,
like hockey, where you can't have ties. They always showed win losses. Yeah. Well, no, football only normally.
You can have ties in football.
You can have it, but
you can have
hockey
ties.
they always
classically.
But in hockey they always show 3. I don't know about football.
Hockey also has no halftime, so I don't want to hear about it.
Oh no, that doesn't make any sense either. But no,
hockey was made by a bunch of Canucks with wood. All right,
they
also had sticks.
There you go. Anyway, so I think we're halfway through it. I think it's been really intriguing.
Or more than halfway.
I think it's going to be. I'm predicting a big come out party for Swerve on this one. Like this is the next.
I want the finals to be Swerve versus Eddie.
He's been doing a lot of media though recently, hasn't he?
Swerve?
Yeah.
Has he?
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of
He's
him
been
doing like
everywhere.
I know his song at the Kraken game.
Yeah.
Speaking of NHL, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know Tina shared that here, I think, this week. So our
don't know.
Seattlean.
I watch YouTube shorts on my work break, and I always see him doing like interviews.
Yeah,
maybe I'm just watching the same interview.
He does a lot of hip hop interviews and stuff too. So he's kind of like integrated there. So he's always has something going on outside of things. But like his like last few months of work has just been absolutely tremendous. So he's going to be, he's going to be a main event, if not the belt, in the next year for sure. Has to be at this point the way they're rolling things. So, and I think that's going to be huge. Yeah, and I like they got a good mix of people that have done the G1 before or something akin to that. So like I think that's helpful for something like this. So,
but I think my big problem is half of each bracket are just filled with guys to lose.
That's have you seen a New Japan bracket?
Yeah, I was going to say
that's
Chase Owens,
and then you get a
bracket.
surprise. But then you get a surprise like Yano beats Moxley, right?
Okay,
like that's the special thing that can happen in these tournaments.
But see, here's the thing. We didn't get why these people are in the tournament. Like some of them make a lot of sense. Bryant, Moxley, sure, they make sense. Swerve, absolutely. Why isn't Hangman in it? Why isn't Kenny Omega in it? Why isn't Chris Jericho in it? Not that I'm advocating for more Chris Jericho, but he should be in it.
Well, I think
there are a lot of big names that are not in this thing.
But
why isn't Miro in it? Like I don't know. It just seems like
it just seems like a mismatch of guys.
Qualifiers. There should have been some kind of like reason for these people to be in here, because it's not their win-loss record, because Daniel Garcia hasn't won a match in forever.
In a bit, and he's really kind of clawing from the bottom here. Jay Lethal was having nothing. Mark
Jay Lethal is there for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, somebody has to be the fodder in these things, and they'll play the spoiler for one or two matches here towards the end. That's usually how that kind of thing goes.
So we're at the end. There's 2 matches left for each people. In A block, it can only be Swerve and Mox that win.
Sure.
Like, it can only be them.
And you got a 3-way tie over on the Blue League, so that gets a little more interesting. So you have one block is blowouts, and the other one's a little more even. Like there's actually like it could be any of those 3 guys.
And I also don't like what they did with Danielson on Collision, but that's just my opinion.
No, I understand. But they're going to play it. That's a story. That's a story they can play. It's an easy story to do, and you know, good wrestling rides the rails, man. So you know, makes you believe. So
but
I know
it's different when it's my own hang up with Danielson wrestling.
Maybe he's not as hurt as we think.
Maybe he's more hurt than we think. He lied to WWE to get out of his contract.
Maybe, I don't know. He's a big boy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's
but I don't want to see someone get brain damage on TV.
Let me show you Australian backyard wrestling.
Yeah, you just watch.
Yeah.
You just
Exactly.
watch a bunch
That's
of brain
not
damage.
on TV.
Bam. YouTube will be on my TV later. So,
Dude, I got you hooked now, didn't I, Sorg?
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it? I love
I'm gonna play it on the big screen Thursday before the show.
Dude, you're gonna go back, and Missy's gonna be like, "What is this?"
yeah. Be like, the greatest thing ever. What?
Dude, Mikey showed me the best thing on the internet today.
Yeah. That's how good things start. Hey, you know what else is great? Supporting our people here all night long. Awesome Cast Wrestling and Mayhem Show. Our friends at Slice on Broadway, New York City style, Yinzer, Maine, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and North Hills, and so many more. Check them out. SliceOnBroadway.com. Supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
I just had Slice today. It's
yes.
Good. Even though it was left over from the previous podcast, I will say.
Well, we get it early, so
I will say that Slice doesn't like get cold the way that other pizzas do. Like it still stays like relatively malleable. So like I'm not biting into a piece of cardboard.
That's when you use like real cheese and shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's like that's what that is. You're just like, well, what the hell was the other pizza? You know, like why is Pizza Hut just like I could
it's like that
hurt my dog if I throw it at
SNL
him.
bit with Bill Hader where it's like it looks like pizza and they're like that's what the company wants you to think.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, guys, it's time to find out what did you learn from wrestling this week. Who would like to go first?
I'll start off. I learned that if you really want to have a proper decoration done for your holiday party, there's only one person to call. And that's Truth.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Just make sure you don't change the locks in the front and the back of the clubhouse, though. You gotta let Truth in. Let the truth in.
The truth being part of the Judgment Day has been one of the joys of wrestling lately. Absolutely. From the chat room, Tina Keys from Seattle says, "What I learned in wrestling, I didn't know Baron Corbin was trouble until he walked into Sunday's Chiefs games and was there with no tribalism at the Iron Claw movie premiere last night, and it was beautiful."
Yeah,
hey, you know
Baron Corbin, Liv Morgan, and Cena were all at the Iron Claw premiere.
Cena hanging out with MJF.
Really?
And Liv Morgan hanging out with MJF too.
Nice.
CJ Perry took a video of them together, and MJF, of course, said, "Oh, I'm just here to fuel the dating rumors again."
Of course. Mikey, what'd you learn from wrestling lately?
I learned that I still love Australian backyard wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I did not think I was going to talk about that today.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't. But
well, this is what this show does to people.
Dude, it's so sick. Like, they are doing some really dangerous stuff. Dude.
Like watching it now you know everything that you do about wrestling from doing it for a few years.
Dude, I look
like it's worse now, right?
Dude, I look at it and I'm like, No, yeah. Like, it feels like wrestling now is getting into a renaissance where it's just like, we want to do athletic things, but we don't want to murder our own bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like the early 2000s where it's just like, how can I make this look as painful as possible in any way, shape, or form?
You had this. We had the backyard wrestling tapes.
Oh, yeah. Were those on VHS too?
Yeah, they were definitely on VHS. I might have a DVD
Betamax?
of them. So, not Betamax. I wasn't that far back.
No one's using Beta?
Not in that era.
That's all that I hear is that Beta was the better format, but everybody used VHS.
Absolutely. And going back to AwesomeCast, that war was fought and won at the Adult Entertainment Expo.
Right.
That's why we were talking about it, because that's the real technology expo. Anyways, go listen to AwesomeCast, awesomecast.com. I don't know where we're going with this.
Sorg, what did you learn from wrestling?
I learned, well, first of all, there's a few things that hit with me. One, somebody who is a friend of said wrestler saying across the locker room, "Man, I used to see you at 2 a.m. on the backyard wrestling commercials." Matt Cross was at a couple shows this past weekend, and also he was a joy at both shows. And he not that Matt Cross is ever not a joy, but it was fantastic and debuting at RWA. Against J-Rock and taking on Super Hentai, who got his name back for one night apparently. over at 2PW. So that was good. That was a lot of fun. But also, so the biggest thing I learned, and this is old school 2006, starting to watch independent wrestling, me loving this visual of the Gambino brothers, the moving company guys, going around and getting donations. Like people were straight up pulling money out of their wallets and handing them to the Gambinos for this charity that we were doing this weekend. It was.
Would you say that was very moving?
It was very moving. Absolutely. I was about to cry backstage when this thing was happening. They literally walked around the entire ring and just people are handing them money for this, going to this donation. Again, over $1,400 raised for Scarlett Jones. And this was like one of the most heartwarming nights of wrestling. I think a lot of us needed this. Needed a night like this. Absolutely. And that is fantastic. And that is not a large room of wrestling fans. You know what I mean? And still but it was like I don't know if it's a sellout or what it is for for that room. I'm sure we're near fire code on this thing. This is right after intermission, so I'm sure there's still a few people smoking outside too. But yeah, you see all that happening, and that was just really, really cool, and just an interesting kind of roll around thing for this, and also just see Mickey just having a good time
behind him. Yeah,
it's so good to see the gang back together here for this, and such good vibes coming out of TPW or Gambino Pro as we like to call it around here. So yes, there's Gambino Pro and then there's Beastman Pro, right? So VCW down in West Virginia, Beastman Pro.
Okay, yeah.
So hey, you know what? Pro wrestling promoting so easy a caveman can do it. I'm going to pitch that for the slogan next year.
Me and Ziggy have fantasies about us being 50 years old, having like a Louisiana shit fed. Like
will you find a new Alabama doink and just kind of roll with it?
I will be Alabama doink.
You will be Alabama doink?
Yep.
I like it. Aspirations.
I'll come back with my runny ass clown makeup, just telling kids, yeah, the house is light. I'll get you next time, kid.
I have one more thing I learned that I'll pull up here in a little bit here, but we'll get through a couple other ones. Who else wants to go next?
I'll go. I learned that CM Punk still thinks that Kofi Kingston's Jamaican.
Yes.
That whole segment. That was fun.
I thought that was Triple.
Yes.
I thought that was Triple H. Didn't Triple H make a joke about that too?
I think he did too.
He did too. Yeah.
What's it like being Kofi Kingston? Where it's just like, we're gonna make you Jamaican, and then all of a sudden one day they're just like, hey, you know that accent that you've been doing on television for like a year?
Mm-hmm.
Just drop it.
They did it the best way too, because he just started talking.
Lot longer than a year.
Yeah, he did a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was a Survivor Series thing, right?
I think so.
Because
he was on ECW first.
No. What I'm saying is when
stopped it. Yeah.
When he stopped doing the accent, it was during like a Survivor Series promo in the ring, and then Triple H turned him and just goes, "I have one question. What happened to your Jamaican accent?"
Yes. We got one more in the Zoom who didn't go yet, correct?
Yes. I learned that it's 2020, ladies and gentlemen. We can't all be making meta references anymore.
It's 2023.
2023. We can't just be making meta references anymore.
Okay.
That's not what wrestling is about.
Okay.
Because that's what Punk has been doing the
whole time.
Whole time, pretty much.
That's more the other company's thing.
Yeah.
I love meta wrestling. You know what I wanted?
Because Punk said that he doesn't want to work with Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens is backstage punching people in the face for no reason.
And who would do that?
Be doing something like that.
And who would do that?
But I also learned that Punk and Rollins is going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, everybody's going to do very well with that.
It's going to make a lot of money. And my favorite tweet of the week was the WWE Creative. They tweeted out that Jack Perry and the Young Bucks just learned that you can make money by hating CM.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a parody account or?
It's a parody account.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah, I was genuinely confused.
It's a parody account, but I'm like, that's pretty funny.
It's a good parody account because it gives out a lot of truths.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I really enjoy that. But yeah, it's like Didn't the Young Bucks
Ron
also
Killings.
decide they needed to take an extended break?
Sure did.
Last thing I think a lot of us learned this weekend is that pasta is flammable. Let's see. There's Mambo, I Poke, the Sander. There's some flaming pasta. And
What's it on top
Is that
of?
Ferrari?
boink. Yep, that's Pump Ferrari through the table.
What is that?
He is definitely on fire.
Is that a card table? What
Yeah, it
the
is.
fuck
It's a piece of metal of some sort.
Oh.
So he goes down. Now wait up. Now look in the background. When we go to the other shot here for this pin, and he's got the pin, and you see it's still on fire.
Oh my
It's still
God.
on fire,
Smoldering.
and was slid towards the fans and relatively towards the sick child that we were the benefit for.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that is Chef Pump Ferrari, and that is Chess Flexor winning the Anarchy Championship.
I need to talk to Chess Flexor, and next time they do this, they need to do the Taipei Penne.
Yes. Well, you'll be able
They
to
need
because Chess Flexor and the STDs will be here next Wednesday for the yearly annual STD Christmas special, where we spread the Christmas joy of the STDs. And we're talking about what that show is going to look like, and it will look like something. Last year, we introduced our friends from Texas, Merlin and Eamon, via the STD Christmas special, and there was definitely, I think they're still in therapy. So we'll see how that goes. If you're interested in joining us, if you want to join in live, we'll be live here. That'll probably be, I haven't nailed down the time that we'll be starting that night, but look for that on Wednesday. Dynamite, whatever. Tune into the STD Christmas special. I think it'll be more unpredictable. So there you go. Mikey, go ahead.
I would say, just as a tease, remember last year, I will take credit for putting both of them in the therapy. Because if I remember correctly, wasn't that where we had the different challenges?
Yes.
Including where I gave someone who happens to be on this call a lap dance.
Yeah, those are kinds of things that happen. There was barbed wire involved at one point. Barbed wire karaoke was one thing.
Barbed
wire. Yeah,
with Bradley.
With Bradley.
Gimmicked?
Yeah. No, it was fairly real. No, ask Bradley about it. So yeah, Bradley took barbed wire.
And Tina mentioned this in the chat before. Just as a reminder, ROH Final Battles this weekend.
Yes, on Friday night.
With the women's main event, because you can't put the ROH title on the line because it's caught in a stupid tournament.
There'll be plenty. It'll be a good show. Either way.
Just be happy you get a women's main event.
Yeah, you get a women's main event.
I'm happy about that.
Yes.
I wish that would happen on Dynamite.
What if it happens a couple times a year?
Nope. No, it doesn't.
Okay. It's happened a couple times in general.
A couple times, sure.
Sure. We're too late in the show to get in this argument, Mike. Mikey Montgomery, thank you so much. Where can people find you online?
You can find me at Montgomery M21 on Twitter. You can find me at Mikey Montgomery BB at on Instagram.
You need a tiny URL.
I do need a tiny.
You need
URL.
a tiny URL.
I keep seeing everybody that has them, and they look so nice.
Talk to Dutters.
Well, talk to Dutters. But yeah. Anyway, you can just basically, if you type in Mikey Montgomery on the internet, it'll basically come up with one drummer guy and then me. So there's like,
click on the guy that looks like they like Australian backyard wrestling.
Yeah, click on the photo that looks like this.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Well, that's basically what your picture is going to be on the cover art, so they'll get it on audio. Thank you, Riz, for being here.
Somehow I'm the word of the year.
Yeah, congratulations.
I don't know why.
Did you have that nickname before it became a colloquialism?
It's actually part of his name.
Part of my last name.
He's been the Riz for at least 15 years.
You got the Riz, dude.
Yeah.
Now everybody's talking about him.
Yeah, everybody's saying it now. I don't like it. Follow me at Riz Plays Games on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, anything you want. I'll be doing things.
There you go. Mad Mike 4883 on social media is when he's not busy changing diapers.
Yeah. I still have time to randomly tweet out Tony Khan and get things together for a holiday special tomorrow.
There you go. And Dave Potter.
Yep. Prof Pod pretty much on all the socials except for TikTok, where I'm ProfPodPGH.
And I'm at Sorgatron on all the social medias. I will be, of course, up there at 880 Wrestling, doing some production things. I will also be behind the ones and twos over at 247 Fighting Championship in Monroeville, right down the road from the Riz. And then Sunday, we are in McMecken, West Virginia for VCW's Road to Victory, in which Beastman and Cowpoke Paul will take on Madman Pondo and Shadow WX or something like that. He's the guy that apparently lit himself on fire. That's the only thing. That's when I keep asking. That's what people keep telling me. So that's the only descriptor I have. So it's got VCW is always a good show, and then of course that'll be on the network as well. If you're afraid of West Virginia. Yes. Also,
Sorg, real quick, I just checked the time. We are after midnight, so I can officially say happy 20th anniversary to Ruth if she's watching.
Happy anniversary to the partners. Yay.
Thank you.
I should have sound effects or something. Thank you, everybody. Stay tuned if you're on Patreon for the Patreon special. And we'll see you guys next week for the year-end Christmas edition. There will be singing. There will be mayhem. There will be singing mayhem. Until then, mayhem out. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.